My name is Ingeborg Birnie. I live in Scotland and I work there with Scottish Gaelic. So hello, Falcha. Ma avian Shaw. So that's hello and thank you for having me and glad to be here. So my work mostly revolves around Scottish Gaelic, which is a minority community in Scotland, and it's a very small community. And we've faced challenges, but one of the things I discovered is that other communities face similar challenges, but they're kind of in different contexts. Part of what I'm particularly interested in is, although all these official policies and planning things exist, is what actually happens in the community. Because to me, the biggest difference that we make is actually what people on the ground believe about their language, how they act towards their language, and how we can encourage people to use their language and continue to use the language. All these great programs. So there's all these official programs that are fantastic and they work really well, but often it disempowers people from, I don't know, they say, oh, someone else will fix it for us. My focus is very much about like, how can we get communities involved? I've also got a particular interest in artificial intelligence. I was actually speaking this morning to the Council of Europe, Commissioner for Human Rights, and AI is one of their things because it has the potential to change lives for the better, but it also got the potential to cause harms to language use and minority language communities, how they're represented, how their sort of myths are kind of perpetuated. So like translation tools make languages more accessible. But one of the issues is like, okay, it works quite fine for English and Spanish and French. But then I've also seen that for minority languages, people think that they get the correct translation and they kind of go, oh, we don't need to involve the community. We just run it through, I don't know, let's not name Google Translate. And we forget like for minority languages, it's sometimes incorrect, it's wrong, and we believe this, and other people believe it, so they go, I can speak Scottish Gaelic, and this is like a text I've put on my website, and it's Scottish Gaelic because Google Translate, or that translation software available, says this. There's lots of issues there. In Scottish Gaelic, we have a community, they've grown up with Gaelic, and traditionally, Gaelic was excluded from some domains, so they would have spoken Gaelic at home, but in formal domains, education or medical care, they would have done that through English. So someone decided that they had created this chatbot to help people with depression or that they needed to speak to psychologists, and they produced it in English, and then they were like, oh, it would be great to have this in Gaelic, and they translated it, but they didn't actually ask the community if they would use it. If you've grown up with Gaelic, you will never have used things like, I don't know, depression in Gaelic, because I normally, when they see a doctor, it's always been in English. And it seems such a waste because I know they've built it. I know it costs a lot of money. We could have used that money to build something that the community wanted. During COVID, lots of people had like Duolingo and all these language learning apps. It was a problem before that because what does it mean to speak Gaelic? I can't speak Gaelic, so I tick the box. Do I use it every day? Maybe not. So my research was to literally go out in the community and find out how many people actually speak it. So that was my PhD project. Only about 1/5 of the people that can, let's say they can speak Gaelic, actually use it. We can hear it on the bus. You can hear it in the library. You can hear like these very specific spaces, but it wasn't very audible in the community. So we created this social space, like we called it the Tai Ceili, which is like Gaelic for like the Ceili house, a gathering place. And it's basically become known as the Gaelic Cafe. So you can always speak Gaelic there. So all the people know they have one space to go to. What I found in my studies, like people feel a bit, I don't want to use the word ashamed because that's very strong. But if they go into a space and everyone speaks English, they're unconsciously go, can I speak my language here? Will people look at me funny? Well, either people knew they could speak Gaelic or they heard other people speak Gaelic. They were more likely to use the language themselves. What really happens is like lots of people are learning Gaelic, but then they don't know other Gaelic speakers. So by creating this space where we knew like, I mean, you can come in if you speak 3 words of Gaelic and we'll help you learn more, or you can be fluent. That's what we've created, and it hasn't got any government money, and it's a good thing it didn't get government money. What makes us do Gaelic? We do this of our own accord. We really like, one of the big things that always struck me is like we all live in our own little bubble. I live in my Gaelic world bubble, and then you go out, and I think it matters that, I wish it wasn't the case, but other communities face the same challenges, and it's somehow affirming to know you don't stand alone. But it matters to me to hear other people talk about success stories, their challenges, and really just to hear people's voices. I wish we didn't need it and that we kind of, all our Indigenous languages were kind of really strong. But I think we're also, by standing together, we create a stronger voice. And it's really powerful that all these different voices come together and become, I don't want to say one voice, because everyone has their own needs, but that we all say, hang on, we are here, listen to us. We might be the minority, but we also want to be heard. If someone has an idea or a solution that we can adapt, I think we stand stronger from learning from each other. It helps amplify our voices. So I would love this to continue and just the conversations to carry on. It makes us a bit more powerful in a world that's kind of insisting on like becoming Anglo-American dominated. The real community matters, but to me it also matters for the future that our languages are respected in digital spaces. The physical community, but also like the online and digital space